Hello everybody, welcome back to 𝘿𝙚𝓲𝓶𝓸𝓻𝓭𝓲. Today we need a for you called the Primordial Roots featuring our Dracovish from Brilliant Star. So Dracovish has the Slosh and Crash attack doing 60 base damage plus 120 more if your opponent has any tool cards attached to your active Pokemon. You get to discard those tool cards before doing damage. That means you actually get to bypass the effects of Pot Helmet, Full Face Guard, cards that reduce damage or add HP to their Pokemon. You get to remove those effects before doing damage. That means you get to do a base 180 damage. If they attach tool cards, of course. If they don't play tool cards in the deck, if they are not tool card forward, then you can't actually do as high damage with this attack. Only 60 base, but we are adding a lot of damage with our Ludicolo 𝘿𝙚𝓲𝓶𝓸𝓻𝓭𝓲 dance ability. So this ability allows you to add 100 plus damage to your basic Pokemon's attacks during this turn as you evolve this card from your hand for each Ludicolo. So that means if you have Rare Candy and a stage 1 evolution, if you evolve your Lombre plus a Rare Candy on the same turn, you get to add up to 200 damage. You get to do 200 extra damage plus 60 or plus 120 more if they attach tool cards. That's a total of 300 plus damage already. If they play VSTAR cards, all we need is a tool card on their active Pokemon. Then we get to do 180 base plus 100 more. That's 280, enough to knock out any VSTAR off the board. So Ludicolo is going to help us collect a VSTAR knockout. Ludicolo is going to help us collect a VMAX knockout. If we use our Dragon Strike for 210 damage, we get to do 30 extra damage with that Choice Belt as well. So Choice Belt plus Ludicolo adds up to 340 damage with our Dragon Strike for only 2 water and 1 grass. So how do we attach our energies though? We have our Grading Cells Leafeon to help us kickstart that grass energy. For our water energy attack cost, we get to do Melony to attach from the discard pile. We have to discard it early though. We have a lot of balls for that, so we don't need to worry. So we get to discard with either Research, Aurora Energy, or our Quick Ball, Level Ball. We don't actually have other supporter cards to discard those, so those are our only options. We have actually 4 copies of Quick Ball, 2 Research, and 1 Aurora Energy and 1 Ultra Ball for the discard, so it's not too bad. We also have our regular supporter cards, 2 Marnie, 3 Melony, 1 Shauna, and 1 Bird Keeper for the switch, just because we can't actually attack after doing Dragon Strike. So you can't use the same attack on your next turn if you use Dragon Strike already. So you can still use your Slosh and Crash for 160 damage if you use Ludicolo for a 1 price knockout, which is not bad. So Ludicolo, we only get to recycle the ability that many times though. We only have 2 Scoop Up Net, 3 Rare Candies, and 2 copies of Ludicolo to spare, so not a lot. We also are only playing 1 copy of Lombre and 3 Lotus in this deck, but we have a lot of ways to set it up. We have 4 VIP Pass, 4 Quick Balls, and 1 Ultra Ball to help us get out our basic Pokemons fast and do our Greeting Cells on the first turn. If we get a VIP Pass, we get to do a Dracovish and bench Leafeon at the same time. That means that allows us to Greeting Cells to that Dracovish and attach a water energy from our hand. We're good to go on the next turn to do Dragon Strike for 210 damage and then Bird Keeper the next turn, or even Slosh and Crash. So the main strategy for this deck is to use Ludicolo non-stop if we can, to add damage continuously. If we can't attack with Dragon Strike, we are not switching, we are not retreating that often for this deck. We're instead doing Slosh and Crash for 160 damage and then passing the turn, hoping they don't knock us out. If they do, then we actually get to charge up the next one quite easily with our Melony, Raihan, and also if we can't do anything passing the turn, then might as well just do another Grading Cells. So we also have that 1 copy of VSTAR Leafeon to help us do the IV-Star Balls Auto Effect, that 1-shot VSTAR power. Switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active, and you actually get to target any one of your opponent's Pokemon as you like. 1 copy of Escape Rope for the side boss auto effect. We also have 1 additional attacker, Suicune V, for the Blizzard Rondo, 20 plus damage for each bench Pokemon on both players' battlefield, plus 20 base, and you also get to attach your Choice Belt to this card as well. We also have our Fleet-Footed ability to help us draw. We have 1 Lumineon to help us get any supporter cards from our deck. We have no Boss Order in this deck just because we are playing IV-Star, so I usually have only 1 copy of Boss Order in any deck. So just because we already have this ability, I decided not to have any Boss Order. But it's not that safe though, just because they could play Path to the Peak. If they play Path, you can't actually use IV-Star anymore, so that's the risk element to this deck, is that Boss Order is much safer just because you get to summon with your Lumineon. So I would recommend having an extra copy of Boss in this deck, but I actually can't find the space for it, so I'm sticking to this list. We also have 1 copy of Cape of Toughness just in case we're up against 1 price decks, and if they do a lot of damage with their 1 price cards, we can at least survive a few turns to do our Dragon Strike more times and collect more price cards with a single Dracovish. Finally, we have 1 copy of Energy Surge to help us get our Grass Energy just in case we can't do Greening Cells early on, or if they knock us out, if we can't get Raihan out in time, if we for some reason cannot get our Grass Energy from the discard pile attached to our next Dracovish, then that Energy Search is going to help us get that Grass Energy from the deck to attach, and then Melony, and we're good to go to do at least Slosh and Crash plus Ludicolo for 160 or even 190 damage if they're playing V cards in their deck. If they're playing Crobat Vs or stuff like that, we get to do a 2 price knockout for only 2 energy. So this is not bad in attack. Slosh and Crash, if they play a lot of air balloons or choice belts, big charm, and even full face guard, stuff like that. Experience share as well, very popular tool card in the standard format for sure. You can actually do 120 more damage for only 2 energies. This is quite powerful actually. And we also have 3 copies of Dracovish in this deck to attack with, only 2 copies of basic grass, and 8 basic water energy cards in this deck. So that's all for the list. Let's wait for gameplay. So let's go ahead for our first game against a Mew VMAX probably. They got a Gardevoir coin, but a Mew VMAX deck box. Dynamax probably. I don't think there is a Gigantamax. Gigantamax, my bad. Gigantamax, so English. It's actually Gigantamax. Okay, they got Genesect out. They got Adventurous Discovery. We have actually a lot of ways to bench your Pokemon for a Fusion Strike deck. You got your Chili, Silent, and Crest, Adventurous Discovery. You got VIP Pass, Cram-O-Matic. You get to search for item cards with Peony. So a lot of ways, especially if you go second. If you go second, you can actually do it quite easily. And draw like a bunch of cards with Great Ball even. You get to do Great Ball for your Fusion Strike basics. There we go, Great Ball. And then Fusion Strike system, you need Stadium cards though. If you go second, if they play Path on the first turn, you actually need to, you know, remove that Stadium card to be able to use Genesect's ability once more. So Genesect is not perfect. Genesect is very strong, but we need 𝘿𝙗𝓲𝓼 because it's only 190 HP, plus the ability is not perfect as well. Path completely destroys it. I don't think there's any card that gets to, you know, block the path to the peak. I don't think any card has the ability, has the capacity to. Not even VSTAR power. VSTAR abilities doesn't work if they play path to the peak. So let's get a Leafeon to do our greening cells once more. We could actually do the knockout right here. We did the greening cells on the last turn, I think. Oh, we didn't. We actually attached a grass from our hand. So that was quite lucky. They actually gave us the knockout. And we don't have to put that. They are not allowed to put an energy card from our Dracovish back into the hand because we actually have to discard the tool card before doing damage. That means we actually bypass the 𝘿𝙚𝓲𝓶𝓸𝓻𝓭𝓲𝓪𝓵 effect. So 𝘿𝙚𝓲𝓼 has no effect, any tool cards has no effect if you are doing Slosh and Crash. So that's the power of Dracovish. This is the perfect matchup here because they're playing Experience Share, so many tool cards. For this next one though, we have a Incense and a Rare Candy, so we can actually do the knockout here. They didn't get their 𝘿𝙗𝓲𝓼, that means we don't need a choice belt. So we can do a bear knockout right here with only one Ludicolo. And we should be attaching to the other one with a Melony, but we don't have a Melony in our hand, sadly. And I don't think we have a Water Energy discard pile yet. We actually did a research, so I think we have 2 Water Energy discarded. So we could have done a Melony if we have like a... We should be doing a Lumineon. We should be using Ultra Ball for Lumineon and then done, you know, Melony this turn, but I don't think it's that crucial because I don't think they can attack on the next turn. They don't have anything to attack with, right? They can do Meloetta, but I don't think Meloetta can attack at all. They just need 10 more damage though. Meloetta actually needs just a Psychic Energy, so they just need a Fusion Strike Energy. Like Elisa or something. Quite easy to pull it off, but all we need is one final prize. Look at that, they got 6 prize left. They're collecting 2 prize on the next turn, obviously. We got our final prize ready to go. We got Melony, we got Raihan. So if they knock us out, we get to Raihan the Grass Energy, do a Slosh and Crash, somehow get a wreck. Oh, if they don't do a Marnie, we actually won the game because we get to do a Raihan, and they just use an escape rope, surprisingly. So Raihan means we get to search for a Rare Candy, and then Slosh and Crash. Oh, we actually need an energy though, because we don't have an energy in our hand. Oh, we have a water. My bad, I didn't see that. We have a water in our hand, so that means we get to search for Rare Candy, and we get to do 160 killing the Meloetta. We even have a choice belt. That means we gotta do a Genesect knockout. If they don't pull out their Auricular, they just conceded. So we won against Mew VMAX. Look at that. It's crazy meta deck. They made the big mistake of attaching the Rugged Helmet though. They underestimated the Dracovish. The extra damage that you get to do with Sloshing Crash is quite broken actually. If you play tool card, if your deck is like super dependent on those tool cards. So I'm not sure whether to put Suicune or Dracovish. So the deck list is actually quite different across the games. Some of the gameplays actually have a Crobat instead of a Suicune. So that's the only difference though. I think there are a few minor changes in the copies of energy and the copies of supporter cards. I kind of interchange between, you know, different copies of different cards. But I don't think I use any other cards other than Crobat and Suicune. That's the only swap that I did. Crobat for Suicune, that you know, because Suicune actually helps you attack as well. Crobat helps you draw, but it doesn't do an attack. You can't attack with it unless you get your Aurora energy, and it doesn't do that much damage anyways. So might as well do Suicune. For Fleet-Footed, we actually get to draw one card every single turn if you have it in the active spot, until it dies obviously. So let's get VIP pass for a Leafeon. Okay, I'm gonna do choice belt. Let's just attach it. Okay, they're playing Urshifu. This is quite scary now. Are we gonna attach to Suicune or are we gonna attach to... Let's just VIP for another Slosh. Let's just remove VIP. I don't think we need to discard anything from our hand unless we got a Ultra Ball. If we have an Ultra Ball, we should be keeping the VIP for, you know, extra resources. Because sometimes you need to discard from your hand and you can't afford to discard anything. So that VIP pass actually helps later on if you play a lot of Ultra Balls in your deck. Or like Aurora Energy and stuff that requires you to discard. So we're gonna attach to our Suicune. I don't think they can knock us out though. Let's just spread our energies. Let's Greening Cells to the bench and then attach to Suicune. We're probably gonna get something with a Bird Keeper, right? We're probably gonna get an energy. So if we Bird Keeper, scoop up that on the next turn, we would be able to attack with Suicune later on, immediately on the next turn. So here comes Houndoom. Can they knock us out? That's the big question. If they get a single strike energy in your hand, apparently they didn't. If they did a single strike energy attachment just now, they could have done a Suicune knockout with 220 damage impact blow. If they evolve, I don't think they can do it. Unless for, you know, by some miracle they pull off a Mustard for another Houndoom. But they just play a Bruno, so they can't do it anymore. So 200 damage. If they somehow got a Zigzagoon in their deck, they can actually knock us out. So 10 HP left. That was quite close. It's gonna die the next turn though. So if we attack with it right now, it's gonna die the next turn. Might as well do the attack. Cause at least we gotta do a decent amount with Suicune and then collect the knockout with Sloshing Crash. We can actually do quite a lot with that attack later on. They already attached their single strike scroll without actually looking at Dracovish. That means we actually get a free 120 extra on that Urshifu. So I should not have searched for a Ludicolo. That was a big mistake. I should have Fleet-Footed first, but I wasn't actually quite familiar with Suicune. I wasn't, you know, I don't play those cards that often, so that was the reason I didn't play that ability yet. Rookie mistake, should have done Fleet-Foot always. But you never know though, it's always a gamble. If you Fleet-Foot first, you could be getting something bad. If you Fleet-Foot later, you could be getting something even worse or something. We actually had to shuffle our deck. That means we could have gotten no research with the first Fleet-Foot had we not searched for something, you know, search for Ludicolo with that incense. So we did 210, that was pretty close. I actually did the research intentionally to get the choice belt, but even with the choice belt, it was not enough to do a knockout just because of that stone energy. We're doing only 190 damage. Look at that, 190 plus that 20 because they actually had to place 2 damage counters on themselves doing a single strike roar. So that wasn't our own merit right there. We're only doing 190. So let's do Slosh and Crash right now. They actually decided not to evolve, which was a smart move. Restricting our prize by 1. You know, we only get to draw 2 prize. And we had to do a 10 damage knockout, which is the same as on their last turn. They actually had to do Impact Blow for 10 damage. Sorry, my bad. The single strike scroll attack for 10 damage. So that scroll is not helping us because they didn't evolve. If they had they evolved, we would have gotten an extra prize card. But at least we get to survive the next turn probably, unless they do a Word of Ruin. If they do the attack, we still get to attack though. We still get to do Dragon Strike first. But they are down to 4 prize cards now. So that means if we attack on our next turn, passing the turn after the Word of Ruin, then both players have 2 prize cards left. And no attackers. We have no attackers, they have no attackers, but they can charge up very easily with that Houndoom, so it's not looking too good for us. We have our Melony though, but I don't think it's that easy to get it out. Okay, here comes Yveltal. They're actually playing single strike Yveltal from Fusion Strike, doing 110 base damage, plus 20 more for each single strike energy. So 160 if they attach 3, which is not bad for a single price. They got no cards in their hand, which is great. Word of Ruin, so that's bad. They actually invested everything on a Yveltal. So that means all we need to do is kill off this Slowking, and then somehow kill maybe with the Ludicolo, kill the Yveltal, and then they have no choice but to get the Urn of Vitality, right? So let's see if we can win this game. I think it's very tight because both players are like struggling at this point, clawing their way out of a jam, a sticky situation. So our sticky situation is that we have no switch cards, we have no way of charging up the next Dracovish, we have no way of attacking after this knockout, and we are forced to pass a turn attacking, knocking ourselves out with Word of Ruin. So I don't think there's any way we can avoid that unless we get Lumineon. We didn't get Lumineon in the deck. And I think we already played the Birdkeeper. We discarded it with the research just now. So no more Escape Rope as well. We're just gonna get Ludicolo, prepare for the next one. I don't think we can knock it out right now. We can do 190, but that's just under 10 damage under to do a Slowking knockout, even with the Choice Belt. Oh my bad, they don't have a tool card. I forgot to check. No tool card means we're only doing 160 damage. So might as well just save Ludicolo for the next turn and do Dragon Strike right now. We can't do anything else, we're stuck. And we are forced to offer up a Lotad. If we put anything else as the active, they're gonna kill for the final remaining 2 prize. Because right now they actually got another 2 prize. There we go. That means they just need 2 more. So we have no choice but to pass the turn with a Lotad or a Lombre. We're gonna attach the grass, and then somehow, if they knock us out, we get to do a Raihan. If they don't, we get to do a Melony. So let's fingers crossed we get any one of those 2 cards early. I don't really want to play a Shauna though, but I guess we are forced to. Pokekid, look at that. People are still playing that for the VMAX. Quite interesting. Incense, you can only fit up to 4 copies, I suppose. Pokekid helps you get your basic as well. So it's quite flexible actually. It's kind of a flexible card. Because there's Adventures Discovery doesn't work for 1 price. Gloria only works for basic and only works for 1 price. So the only card that allows you to search for any Pokemon is the Master Ball effect. It's a Pokekid, but it's a supported card and you only get to search for 1. So let's do a Raihan right now. We have 2 prize left, they have 1 prize left. So this is very close. If they get their Earn on the next turn and a boss, we're done for. They just need to boss kill the Ludicolo on the bench. So let's just get a scoop up net. If we scoop up the Ludicolo, we can actually avoid a boss or a knockout. But if we get a water energy, we can do a knockout with VSTAR. We can collect the last prize with VSTAR and then, you know, attach the water energy for Dragon Strike. So we either should be getting a water or a scoop up net. I think we're gonna get a scoop up net. I don't think we're gonna get the water, because they can quite easily have, you know, a boss in their hand and an Earn. That's all they need. 1 boss and 1 Earn. They got only 2 cards in their hand though, so I don't think it's that likely for them to have those 2 exact cards. Because we're actually doing a knockout right now, so it would have been smarter to just get a water energy. I don't know, because right now we actually need to do a Shauna for a water energy, which is not good. But we got a lot of ways to search for that water energy though. We even have Melony, and 𝘿𝙗𝓼 is not going to help, but Melony is definitely going to help. If we get either Energy Search, Aurora Energy, Water, or a Melony, we haven't played a single copy yet throughout this game. So this entire game, we haven't found our Melony. We're playing 3 copies in this deck, so we should be getting it by now. If we don't, we should be getting at least a Water. So if we don't get a Water, we're done on the next turn, because we're giving them that extra 1 turn. So they played a Research, no boss. We shouldn't have done that. We should have just searched for a water energy. They could quite easily play a Marnie though. If they do a Marnie, I don't know what to say. So here comes the Roar. The Vitality is done. Here comes the Roar. They can actually do Escape Row. If they do Escape Row, it's actually going to be worse, right? Because Leafeon VSTAR is not weak against any of their types. They're playing Dark and Grass. Sorry, Dark and Fighting. So they're not playing any Fire types, unless they somehow mustered for a Cinderace. I'm checking my discard pile like crazy, looking if I have any Melonies. There we go. We actually have 3 more Melonies inside the deck, so we should be getting it, definitely. There we go. We did our Dragon Strike for the final prize, winning the game against a proper single strike meta deck. Single strike Urshifu with Slowking and Houndoom. I don't think they're playing that many Slowking. Probably 1 copy, but you know, it's the main attacker is Urshifu, I would say, because they did like double Urshifu evolve evolution, and I don't think the Slowking evolved at all throughout the entire game. They did Word of Ruin and they didn't do anything else. I think they did double, the last attack was Word of Ruin as well. So if we pass the turn not doing a knockout, then they win the game, because we have to knock ourselves out passing the turn, or retreat, at least do a retreat, removing all of our energy cards. We don't have an Escape Rope, no more Bird Keeper, so okay, let's focus on this game. We got Lotad, we got Quick Ball. They got a Necrozma box. Okay, we got a Hydreigon coin just because we are playing a Dragon type Dracovish, and we also have a Grass deck sleeve for Leafeon. They got a Psychic. Oh, they are playing a Psychic box, a Psychic energy coin. I don't want to give it off too much, but they're playing a Psychic box. So we got a Choice Belt and a Marnie. I'm actually trying to narrate the situation to get you guys past this long wait. I don't know why they're taking so long, Sir Wavy, but sometimes they just get, I don't know, they get frustrated with the game. I suppose this game is actually quite annoying. Oh, it's actually a Shadow Rider, my bad. It's a Shadow Rider, not a Psychic box. So, you know, it sometimes messes with your head, because you could just go 10 games in a row with a bad hand. Starting with a bad hand 10 games in a row, it just happens. For no reason at all, you just get unlucky and non-stop, game after game. But if your deck is fluid enough, you shouldn't be getting bad hand 10 games in a row, right? So that's the main reason I swapped the Crobat for a Suicune. The Suicune actually gives you more options. Suicune actually loosens this deck and it helps you attack as well. So it makes it less, less slow. It makes it less, conditional, because otherwise we're gonna be forced to attach 3 energies to do 210 damage. If they don't play tool cards, we're only doing 60 damage before the first attack. So we're forced to attach 3 energies, which is a tall order. So we got Leafeon, no need for VIP pass. We got a quick ball on the next turn for either Suicune, or we actually got a Crobat for this game. There we go, no Suicune. So I apologize in advance. Some games have a Crobat, some games have a Suicune, but no games have both of them inside the deck. We either have one or the other. Okay. So we actually get to do a lucky knockout on the next turn, but I'm giving off spoilers. I shouldn't be giving off spoilers, but okay, here comes they did nothing. Oh my goodness, I thought they were gonna bench something. Okay, they did nothing. So we get to do Bird Keeper. We get to attach an energy. We should be doing Crobat first. So let's discard the grass energy, scoop it up, and then do a Crobat. I'm not sure if we want to scoop it up and then do a Bird Keeper at the last minute though. If we get our evolution for Leafeon, we can actually do, so we actually decided to remove the scoop up net, look at that. And keep the grass energy, because I don't think we have that many Raihans for this deck. So some lists are a bit different. So this list, I think we're only playing 1 copy of Raihan. So the final one has 2 Raihans, which is much better, I would say. We actually got an incense already. We won. We didn't win yet, but we killed the Shadow Rider, which is a big deal, because now they have nothing but Alcremie on the active spot. We got our VSTAR for 210 damage, 240 with our Choice Belt attached. So Dragon Strike does 240 damage. Look at that. Knocking out Shadow Rider Calyrex for the first 2 prize, and they got no energies, no bench. They are destroyed, completely blank. I think they got a really shit hand. I mean, their hand must be super bad. I mean, they virtually did nothing on the last turn, right? They just passed the turn doing nothing. That's like super bad, yo. Okay. We won the coin flip. We're gonna go second. So going second actually gives you a higher chance of getting your VIP pass. And we don't need to evolve. We don't really need to evolve that early. So if you need to evolve, if you're attacking with a stage 1 or a VMAX, then make sure you go first. But if you want your VIP pass on your first turn, then if you go second, it's gonna give you a high chance of doing that, because you get to play your supporter cards, right? Okay, we got a quick ball, Aurora energy to discard the water. We somehow need to get a Leafeon out. So we can only draw 3 cards with Bird Keep. Oh, we got a basic, so that means we actually get to search for a Leafeon with that quick ball. We're gonna discard the Raihan. We got 2 copies. Let's just discard the Raihan with the quick ball. Oh, we can actually do the Bird Keeper first, my bad. Because we want to be saving the Lotad. And we don't need to use the quick ball. We can actually save it for either Crobat or Lumineon. So no Suicune for this one. Okay, should be getting another Dracovish though. So make sure you bench another Dracovish if you have it in your active spot. Or have like 2, essentially have 2 Dracovish in play just in case one gets knocked out. Think about charging up the other one, getting it ready to attack while you're attacking with your first one, because 3 energies is a tall order. You need 3 energies to pull off Dragon Strike, and that is a lot. If you get Ludicolo though, you can do Dragon Strike for 340 damage with Choice Belt, and 340 is enough to knock out any VMAX, unless they play like buffs, Heat Energy, Single Strike Bomber Snow, Stone Energy, yada yada yada, Big Charm. I don't think there's any tool cards, full face guard. Any other tool cards that adds HP, I don't think, for VMAX. If there is a Zacian VMAX or a Zamazenta VMAX, it would be quite broken, right? Because they have the Rusted Sword and Rusted Shield. I don't think they have it, right? Zamazenta V, the new one from Brilliant Stars though, the start deck 100 one, is actually quite strong. You get Revenge Blast, my bad, for 30 extra damage, 120 base damage plus 30 more for each prize card your opponent has taken. Kind of the same as your Shaymin V, Shaymin VSTAR and Shaymin V. So let's get our Lumineon or Crobat. Let's just do Lumineon for Marnie. We're definitely not gonna get a research. Shauna or Marnie. Do we have Water Energy in the discard pile? We can actually do our Melony. Let's just do Melony. And hope for a basic. We should be getting a Marnie though, because we need to bench a basic. Oh, we can't bench anything else. So make sure you don't bench so many Lotads. We should have left one open for a Dracovish. I forgot about Dracovish. So this was an amateur mistake. Don't bench too many Lotads to start with. 2 Lotad is more than enough. If you have 1 Lotad, it's actually good enough unless they play a boss order. So 2 Lotad is better for security. But 3 is way too much because we don't have the space for it. We need to bench another Dracovish. So Leafeon staying in play is actually helping you because you get to play VSTAR, you get to attack with it with Raihan as well. If you get your Raihan, you can attach you know, a grass energy, another grass energy to it, but you can't attack in a single turn though. You need to attach at least another energy on your last turn, a water energy, and then Raihan for a grass. Search for a grass from the deck, attach the grass from the discard pile, and you're good to go to do Leaf Guard for 180 damage. Leafeon VSTAR is actually quite powerful. 180 for a VSTAR card, and you get to reduce damage by 30 on your opponent's next turn. Not bad. Okay, we actually scooped it up. We wasted a scoop of net just to bench that Dracovish. And we had to attach an energy right now. If we don't attach an energy, we're done. So they're not playing tool cards, which is horrible. They're, you know, trying to get past our Sloshing Crash extra damage effect, which is expected. They don't need to play those tool cards anyways. They don't need their air balloon or, you know, experience shares and stuff like that. They could be playing experience share though. Choice belt. They could be having choice belt as well. Or like Rocky Helmet, Rugged Helmet, Spirit Mask. So many tool cards, right? Okay. So all of those effects are removed before you do damage. That means the effect of the tool card will not activate when you attack their active Pokemon with Sloshing Crash. Spirit Mask, no effect. Lucky Egg, no effect. Everything has no effect. Everything. Rocky Helmet as well. So it's quite interesting, isn't it? This card is definitely quite interesting. It completely deactivates tool card in a very interesting fashion by discarding it before you attack, right before you attack. It's a tool nullifier. Okay, let's do... We don't have a Raihan, we can't actually attack with Dracovish. This is actually quite tricky. So this is the Psychic box that I'm talking about. They're playing a very wide variety of Psychic Pokemons. 1 copy of Sylveon, 1 copy of Necrozma, the V card, and 1 Espeon, 1 Dragapult VMAX, 1 Rapidash, Galarian, Fairy. And we got another Water Energy. What are we gonna do right now? I think all we can do is Greening Cells for the final remaining grass. I'm not even sure if we have it inside the deck. So we're gonna check to see if we have that grass. I don't think we're checking though, my bad. I'm pretty sure we have it, so we're just gonna Crobat. We got a Raihan though. We should have kept the... Look at that. If we had kept the... we should have discarded Marnie with our Quick Ball, but that would have been a big risk though, wouldn't it? It would have been a huge risk. If we were bold enough, to put Dracovish as the active, or bold enough to discard Marnie with a Quick Ball, then we can actually scoop it up and then attack with the Dracovish. 210. Can even do a Rare Candy evolution, look at that. So I think we may actually do Mini Drain for 120, but that's not even enough to knock it out though, later on. Because we're only doing 60 damage, so might as well just save Ludicolo for later. We should be retreating. We definitely should do Raihan right now, but I don't think we're doing Rare Candy. They're only doing 130 damage, so let's just retreat to... I don't know what to do really. If we retreat, we get to evolve to Lombre, and then save it from a knockout. I don't think there's any point though, because we already have no more... are we gonna do Rare Candy? We actually decided to. Okay, I think we did our Dracovish. I think we did Slosh and Crash. We can do another Enthusiastic Dance, but we can't scoop it up anymore. We've actually got another Ludicolo inside the deck. So we're gonna save our Lotad, evolve to the Lombre on the bench, and then somehow kill the Dragapult on the next turn. I keep calling Dragapult Dracovish. I keep calling it Dracovish. Dragapult. Okay. Here comes a VSTAR. We can get anything. Look at that. We're gonna do a research maybe? Choice Belt. Let's do a Choice Belt. Or should we get Cape of Toughness? I think it's smarter to get Cape, because we can't actually do a knockout at even with the Choice Belt. We're only doing 60, 90 damage. I don't think it's smart. Let's play the safer option. Let's extend our lifespan for the fossil to survive longer so that we get to do our Dragon Strike later. So they're doing a lot of damage contra placements with O Cemetery, with Horror Energy, with Max Phantom, so placing damage contras over and over and over. Very, very annoying damage contra placement deck. A slow kill strategy, right? Dropping those damage contras. Dripping Grudge. I think that's like the specialty of ghost types. Ghost types have those damage contra placement effects. Zigzagoon is a dark type though, but you have your Runerigus. Galarian Runerigus is actually a rock type, a ground type. So Runerigus, the ground type card, actually has the damage contra placement effect as well for the attack. And I was actually stroking Espeon because I was quite mesmerized by the background. That was actually the first time I realized how colorful the background was. Espeon VMAX with the psychedelic, what do you call that? Psychedelic background. Swirling slice. Ooh, they got a Gengar. They're playing such a wide variety though. Like one copy of each card. One Sylveon, one Rapidash, one Necrozma, Espeon, Ghastly, and Dragapult. Precious Touch, oh my gosh. Healing 120 damage, look at that. How are we gonna knock out the Dragapult? So this is very, very difficult now. They just made it so much more difficult. I don't think we can kill this Sylveon with one hit unless we get our Ludicolo. So no Ludicolo, this is very bad. So it appears it was a smart decision. It was the right choice apparently to not play the Choice Belt and have our lifespan extended instead. Because we have no Dracovish on the bench. We have a Lumineon though, we can attack with that card. So we have to make do, we have to make full use of everything that we can do. do a Melony on the Lumineon to do Aqua Return. At least we get to do 120. It's a basic Pokemon, that means we get to do 220 if we get our last Ludicolo, if we get to evolve at the last minute. So we just need 4 prize. That means we need 1 VMAX knockout and 1 VSTAR for either the Rapidash or I think we did VSTAR already. We haven't evolved yet though. So we still have access to Leafeon V Star's ability. I don't think we discarded any. Did we discard it? That's the big question. I don't think so. Okay, here comes the damage counters. The Haunting. Okay, we're gonna do a Melony to the Lumineon and then try to accomplish a enthusiastic dance on the Aqua Return for 220 damage. So we can't actually do a Dragapult knockout. Dragapult is staying alive, sadly, because we definitely should have done Slosh and Crash on the last turn. We should have expected them to retreat. If we did a Slosh and Crash, we could have done a Dragapult knockout this turn already. So that was a big mistake on our part. I don't know why I did that. My bad. Because we could have done Dragon Strike right now and kill off the Dragapult. 210 damage, that's enough to kill any VMAX, right? Up to 340. So Ultra Ball, I don't think we're gonna get Ludicolo though. If we do Ludicolo, it's not even enough. We're forced to attack with Slosh and Crash. We're just gonna get the VSTAR. Oh my bad. We actually decided to get the Ludicolo. So we're gonna prepare Ludicolo for the next turn. Okay, we got the VSTAR. If we do VSTAR, then that's it, right? Because we actually need our final prize. So we're just gonna wait it out. We're gonna wait it out, do our Aqua Return, and then hope they don't pull a boss order. I don't think they can attack that easily though. If Dragapult dies, I don't think they can attack that easily unless they do a Raihan. If they do a Raihan, they can kill us with Necrozma. But if they do a Raihan, they can't do boss order though. They need a boss to kill a V card. So if we kill the Dragapult with our Lumineon, all we need to do is offer up a Ludicolo as the active spot, as the active Pokemon, and then somehow retreat to another attacker. It's gonna be quite difficult though, because we don't actually have another attack. We can attack with Ludicolo. We can actually do Wave Splash. I think it's called Wave Splash. 120 damage for Wave Splash. The stage 2 can actually attack, so it's not bad. And we actually decided to do VSTAR on the 3 retreat cost, the 3 energy retreat Pokemon. So we wasted our boss order effect. That's the only boss order sort of boss order each card that we have in this deck. So if they do a switch right now, we are completely done for. We got an escape rope. If we do an escape rope, they could just offer up anything though. But they may be cocky enough to put up the VMAX. If they put up anything but the other cards, they can't actually retreat that easily. They can actually retreat with 1 energy on Sylveon though. If they put Sylveon, I don't know how much Espeon's retreat cost is. I think Espeon has 2 energy retreat costs, I'm not sure. But they should be putting Espeon, right? If we escape rope. I think our only bet is to escape rope though, because we can actually do a VMAX knockout, any one of the 2 VMAX on the bench. If they put it as the active, we don't have a boss order, so that's our only hope. Let's fingers crossed they put either a Dragapult or Sylveon as the active and give us a 3 prize draw this turn. Okay, they actually gave us the Dragapult, look at that. So that means we just need to get our Ludicolo out, evolve, and we are good for, how much damage is that? 200, we actually got Choice Belt as well. So 220 is enough. I don't think we're gonna waste our Choice Belt. Let's just keep it in our hand, because we have to shuffle everything, all attached cards, back into the deck with our Aqua Return. So Aqua Return moves, you have to shift everything back inside the deck. So that's the bad thing about that card. That means we have no attackers on the next turn. They actually conceded though. We have 1 prize card left, and we have no attackers. But we can actually do a Ludicolo. We can Raihan for a Ludicolo to do Wave Slash for the final knockout, but I don't think we have VSTAR anymore. We should have kept VSTAR for the last minute. I don't know why he did that, but Dragapult was quite scary, I suppose. Because if they did another Max Phantom, they can actually kill the Lombre on the bench, I think. So that was quite a lucky game actually. That was quite lucky. We actually did a boss order on the Necrozma and an escape rope, and they actually made the mistake of putting the Dragapult. So we got 3 extra cards from our opponent's mulligan. We're gonna bench another Lotad. Okay, now we're up against another Single Strike. Single Strike Stonjourner. And Urshifu. Okay, we were faced up against Urshifu slash Slowking for one of our last matches, and now we're up against Urshifu slash Stonjourner. Both Single Strike. So let's get our main 2 cards out. Our main combo, Breeding Cells and Dracovish V. The Dragon Fossil. First ever Dragon type fossil, right? I think so. I'm not sure if 𝘿𝓼𝓲𝓚 is a Dragon type. I think 𝘿𝓼𝓼 is a Rock and Ground type, if I'm not mistaken. It could actually be a Dragon though. I think 𝘿𝓼𝓼 is actually a Dragon type. I actually trained it in my X and Y. Is it X and Y? I think. I have it in one of the Nintendo games. I don't know which generation it is. I forgot, sorry guys. But I have a 𝘿𝓼𝓼 in my PC. I actually have it in my party, and I trained it. It has like the Dragon Claw or something. Dragon something. Dragon Rage, I think? Whatever, let's just focus on this game. So Dracovish, I'm not sure about the game, the Sword and Shield, but the TCG is not doing too well, because we have the ability for the water type one. It has the ability that restricts, cuts off evolution if it's in the active spot. You have to have it in the active spot every single turn, and if you're playing boss order, VSTAR, or escape rope, you can't actually use that ability anymore. So that Dracovish is not that powerful. It's definitely one of the weakest fossils, one of the weakest abilities for all the fossil cards. I don't think there's any other ability other than your Arctozolt, which everyone is very familiar with, because it is like one of the most broken ability ever. Place 2 damage counters for each Arctozolt you have in play. Every time your opponent attaches a energy from their hand onto their Pokemon, if they play Rillaboom though, or any other cards like Melony to attach from the discard pile, from their deck, attach from the prize card with a treasure energy, you can't actually place damage counters that way. If they play Fusion Strike energy, they get to bypass Arctozolt as well. So that card is definitely not perfect. We actually got a first Urshifu knockout, look at that, with our VSTAR and Choice Belt, giving us that free Urshifu knockout. We don't need, no need for Ludicolo. That was a lucky strike. Lucky first 2 prize. And they got no V cards on the bench. That's a really good news. They're playing Houndoons. No V cards, look at that. Let's hope we get to knock it out right now. We got Ludicolo Red Candy. I'm pretty sure we can kill the Stonjourner. I don't think it has that much HP. 130 if I'm not mistaken. Even if we can't kill it, we can at least prevent them from attacking on the next turn. So if they had a Cape of Toughness, for example, they can't actually use Single Strike Roar that many times, otherwise they're gonna kill themselves. I think they can actually survive it though. If they have a Cape, we can actually do like 180 damage by default, right? We don't need a Ludicolo anymore because we can do extra damage with Slosh and Crash. So Slosh and Crash for 160 because they have no tool card and we had to play Ludicolo, but that actually gives us a knockout. Another Dracovish. We have no attackers on the bench, so that is why I decided to change Crobat for a Suicune. As you can see, we cannot attack with anything but our active Pokemon. Leafeon is not attacking that easily. We got an Aurora Energy attached to it, but we can't actually attack with it that easily unless we get Raihan out. We have no training card, no way of retrieving that grass energy from the discard pile other than with a Raihan. So if we don't get Raihan, Lumineon for Raihan or something like that at the right time, we cannot attack with Leaf Guard and we're forced to do Aqua Return, and that's super bad because you only get to do it once and you have to shuffle your Lumineon back into the deck. It's only doing 120 damage as well, so not a lot. It doesn't do much for 3 energies, so that's quite bad. It's better just to attack with Suicune. For only 2 energies, you gotta do so much with your Choice Belt, up to 230 damage, even more I think. 250 damage, my bad. The max you can do if you have 5 bench Pokemon on both player sides. You have to do 220 plus 30 extra damage for your Choice Belt if you play V cards obviously. No V cards means you only get to do 220. So we did a killed off one by one all the 1 prizes. It's like, you know, it's like a ant colony. We have to kill the entire colony one by one, a little bit at a time. No Urshifus for that 2 prize kill, but we can't do VSTAR anymore. So we got our grass energy. That means we can do Leaf Guard by attaching from the hand. It was actually quite lucky because we only have 2 copies of grass in this deck and we already used our first green cells. That means we have 1 left, 1 Aura Energy already attached, so it's actually quite lucky that we've got it having 23 cards left in the deck. And they just said well played. Yep, no cards in their hand, no Crobat. I think they just decided not to play the Crobat because they were expecting us to do a boss. I don't know. So it's the end right there. We won another single strike, which is great. And we actually decided to continue playing, diligently playing all those cards, preparing for the next turn, even though it's already ended, which is actually quite pointless, to be honest. Should have just ended the game with a retreat, Dragon Strike, and we got the final prize for the win. Against single strike Urshifu again. Okay, now we're up against a lightning deck, Pikachu. Not sure what deck they're playing though. Could be misleading, you never know. They could actually deceive you with the deck box. They could actually forget to change their deck box and deck sleeve, or decide to stick with that for preference just because it's their favorite Pokemon or something. Okay, we got Dracovish to start with, we got Skullgirl. They actually gave us mulligans, so let's hope we draw good stuff. Okay, they're playing Dark and Psychic Pokemon. No Lightning. Experience Share. Let's hope we get VIP Pass. I'm really eyeing for that card. For my Leafeon, we got a Water Energy, that's great. That means if we get Leafeon, we got 2 energies to start. Please give us a Leafeon, come on. No Leafeon. Okay, they're playing Noivern. Noivern with Fumbling Hands. Noivern Synchro Loud does 120 extra damage if your opponent has the same number. If you have the same amount of cards in your hand as your opponent, you gotta do 180 base damage. For only 2 energies, Psychic and Darkness, same as your Slosh and Crash actually. the same amount of damage as Dracovish's first attack, except the condition is a bit different. You get to control, you have more control for your Noivern, but you don't get to do higher than 180 damage for that card. For Dracovish, you get an extra additional attack, Dragon Strike for 210 damage. So that's why Ludicolo works so well, because if you have your Arceus V-STAR, if you're up against Arceus V-STAR with Choice Belt, you actually get to kill it with one Ludicolo for a Slosh and Crash. So Slosh and Crash for 180 damage plus 100 more with 𝘿𝙚𝓲𝓶𝓸𝓻𝓭𝓲𝓪, that actually helps you collect a V-STAR knockout for only 2 energies, a basic V card. If they have a tool card, obviously. Okay, they did a Marnie, not too bad though, we got a Quick Ball. We're gonna attach the water and then Quick Ball. Probably discard the Dracovish, save our Aurora energy because we don't have that many grass in play inside the deck. So we should be saving the Aurora. They got the first fumbling. Oh my goodness, I hate this. We just prepared our hand, now we have to restart again. So that is very annoying though. Like, how many of those are they gonna play again? That's really weird, yo. I think they're trying to get Darkness energy out. They haven't got their Darkness energy yet. So they couldn't do 180 though. Because if they attach right now, I think they benched the Nickit this turn, so they can't evolve the final one. So they did 60 base, not bad. I would have done 20 to all of to my bench as well, but I think they were trying to do a 2-hit knockout. So let's avoid the 2-hit knockout with a Cape and do Dragon Strike for a Noivern kill. So 180 plus 60, 240. So yeah, I think we needed that Cape. So it was quite lucky that we got it. So Marnie and Thievul actually helped us get the lucky Cape of Toughness to avoid a Synchro Loud knockout. We have experience share, that means we get to do Ludicolo Rare Candy to do a Slosh and Crash knockout. We can't do Dragon Strike on the next turn because we already used it on the last. That means we have to get Ludicolo somehow. I don't think we can do it though because we need Rare Candy and we don't have Skyla, we don't have Peony. That means we can't do Lumineon for a Rare Candy. So Lumineon is not gonna get us the item. They attached the Darkness energy, interesting. So we're forced to do Slosh and Crash, and then at least we get to discard the tool, right? They have 20 HP remaining, which is quite annoying. If we had like a Choice Belt, we would have killed it by now. So I'm not even sure if it was the right move to be attaching that. We should have evolved it though, but I was hoping for a Rare Candy. That was the reason. We should have evolved the Lombre though. That would have been smarter. Because we only have 3 Rare Candies in this deck. It's a long shot to be drawing the Rare Candy for only 3 from only the top 3 cards of the deck. Having 40 cards left in the deck, which is quite bogus. It's very early days. It's still quite early stage of the game. They have 31 cards left in the deck, so if we do a Lumineon, we can somehow save our hand, but they're probably going to do another Thievul on the next turn, and then set up the next Nickit with a Scoop on that, so it's going to be quite annoying. They're cutting our hand every single turn, forcing us to put cards at the bottom, and then, you know, basically drawing random cards. So we're going to do Slosh and Crash for 180. 20 more damage is all we need. If they do Cape of Toughness, we just need to attach a Grass Energy on the other one. But I think this one is surviving though. This Dracovish is actually surviving another hit. Just because... So if they do Thievul, they can do Synchro Loud at last, but... okay, Cape of Toughness is not going to help them. because we are discarding the tool card. So they need Thievul. Because they already put it, there we go. So we get to survive this hit, look at that. So all we need is Ludicolo. If we can do a Ludicolo and somehow attach a Grass Energy, that would be great. Or like get a Raihan at least. Raihan for the next turn. But, oh, they don't have any more Thievul though. They may just play Marnie. But if they don't do a Marnie, they actually got a Grass Energy, so we don't need Raihan anymore. So we got the Bear Grass. Oh, we actually get to do Lumineon as well. We haven't played Lumineon. So if we get Quick Ball, we get to do Lumineon for Raihan if they knock out our active Dracovish on the next turn, and then get the next one ready to go. But we actually get to do a Grass Energy from our hand, which is very lucky to be honest, but they did so many fumbling hands though. They have forced us to put so many cards at the bottom. That means we actually race through the deck. Racing through the deck helps us get our rare card, which is that one copy of Grass Energy. That's super rare, yo. Thanks to the multiple Marnie effects, we actually got it. Okay, we're gonna do Slosh. We're gonna do Dragon Strike actually. Is it enough? I don't think so. We didn't get our Ludicolo. Would have been smarter for us to do a Marnie or Research. I don't think we have a Research before the Melony. So we should have done a Marnie for something like Incense for Ludicolo or Ultra Ball even. Then we could have done a Noivern knockout. But now we actually get to... Now they actually get to collect the knockout and then we are quite delayed. They can't kill anything else though that easily. If we evolve the Leafeon, even if it's not evolved, they could quite easily do a Choice Belt. If they do a Choice Belt on the Noivern, so they are shutting off VSTAR. We can't do VSTAR anymore. As you can see, Path to the Peak completely shuts it down. We have no stadium cards in this deck. I actually tried Crystal Cave to start. I built this deck with Crystal Cave, but eventually I decided to cut out that stadium card just because I needed more supporter cards. Playing a stage 2 Ludicolo, you can't afford to have your stadium cards. So that's the reason I cut out Crystal Cave from the list. Even though it actually helps us, you know, for Leafeon VSTAR to do the ability once more, for our Lumineon Crobat or Suicune to do fleet-footed ability, just because if they play Path, we can actually kick it out with our stadium cards. And it also helps with our Dracovish Dragon-type heal, obviously. Okay, so I don't think they can knock us out though. Even with the Choice Belt, they're only doing 210 damage. So I think we're safe. We don't need Ludicolo unless they attack with the other one. They're probably gonna attack with the other one, right? They actually have an Experience Share, but no energy cards on this one, so they can't do the Experience Share. So we have to do a Raihan or something energy switch to somehow attack right now. We got a Ludicolo, that's the end. They don't have a cape though. No cape means we get to do a Dragon Strike knockout. That was quite unlucky, wasn't it? If we got our Ludicolo on the last turn, it would have been so much easier to win the game. But I think they didn't stand a chance to begin with just because they're doing way too low damage. But if we got unlucky enough though, if we didn't get the right cards with those multiple Marnie effects, like multiple Thievuls, they could have just restricted our hand. With that control effect. Only 4 cards left in your hand, but we got a Ludicolo. So we even get to do Dragon Strike, so it's already the end. We got our final 2 prize with another Dragon Strike hit. So only 180 damage. I think you need Choice Belt. You need Choice Belt like mad. So maybe Shopping Center for your multiple 2 cards, like Experience Share, Choice Belt, Cape of Toughness. You get to, switch those cards around with the Shopping Center. And then do at least 210 damage with your Synchro Loud, which is not bad. kind of need a bit more though. 210 is actually not enough to kill a regular V card. Most V cards now have at least 220 HP, so 210 is quite low. Even with the choice belt, Noivern is quite weak, isn't it? Synchro Loud, only 2 energies though. I can understand the value of that card just because all you need is a Marnie or a Thievul or a Copycat to help you attack with 180 damage non-stop every single turn with a Synchro Loud and with experience share on your bench. Very easy to set it up, very easy to, you know, very smooth flow. It runs very smoothly and you don't need to do much. All you need is that experience share, Cape of Toughness to survive a bit longer, and Thievul. You just need to like spam those cards and you're good to go, right? Very easy. Easy peasy deck. But not enough damage. Not enough damage apparently. It can do a 2-hit knockout for a VMAX, but it can't do a 1-hit knockout against a V or a VSTAR, which is like the main thing you should be focusing on for any V decks. If you can't do a 1-hit knockout playing a V card, then there's a huge problem. There's a huge problem for that deck. Because your opponent is doing a one-hit knockout against a V. If they can do it, they can actually do it quite easily with Choice Belt out now. And if you can't do a V knockout with your V card for 1-hit KO, then it's super bad. You're gonna waste 2 prize, and you know you're gonna waste 2 turns to collect 2 prize, while giving your opponent 1 turn to collect 2 prize. Okay, we're gonna do Keep of Toughness, and then Shauna, we better be getting our basic Pokemon. They actually play Morpeko, so playing Morpeko is actually the perfect matchup for us because Morpeko needs their tool cards. They need Choice Belt, not really that necessary, but they need that you know, HP boost with either a Abomasnow. They can't actually get Abomasnow that easily, that early in the game, unless they pull a Mustard somehow. So Cape of Toughness means we get to do extra damage. They're forced to play Cape on the Morpeko if they want to do at least 180 damage. They have to play the Cape. If they are smart enough though, they would have done a Quick Ball for a Snubber, and then slowly set up the Abomasnow, and then get the Morpeko out at the last minute. But if they do that, we would have, you know, Boss Ordered by then, IV Star by then, kill off the Abomasnow. So Abomasnow is the main thing we need to watch out for this deck. That is the ticket for their success that we need to steal from them. Okay, we're gonna attach the Aurora Energy. We can actually do a Crobat knockout because they have a Tool card, an Air Balloon attached to the Crobat doing 180 damage, collecting another free 2 prize. Look at that. They gave us free 3 prizes with the Choice Belt and another Tool card. So Morpeko is dying very easily. They got no Houndooms on the bench. That is super bad. Old Cemetery is not gonna help them. They can't actually do a Dracovish knockout. We have a Cape of Toughness attached, so they need so much damage to kill us, and they can't do it without their Houndooms, without the Old Cemetery, without the tool cards. It's impossible to do a Dracovish knockout without your HP boost, because I think it's only doing a max of 120 damage plus single strike. If they have single strike energies up to 3, they can do 180 damage max. Having 4 damage counter on the Morpeko, 10 HP remaining without a cape, without a single strike, toughness boost ability from single strike Abomasnow. So Morpeko is like the perfect matchup against Dracovish, because Dracovish is like the big bad bully. Okay, so now we're up against a Evolution deck sleeve. I think they're playing a Rapid Strike. Not sure what type of cards they're having. Could be Urshifu, could be Malamar, could be anything. It could even be a non-Rapid Strike card, because Inteleon works well with anything. If they play Decidueye, we don't stand a chance, obviously. So they got Skater Spark, very interesting stadium card from Fusion Strike. Put an energy card back into your hand when you retreat. Put all energies equal to your retreat cost. back into your hand rather than instead of discarding them, you put it into your hand. Okay, let's do our water energy attachment. Should we attack with Leafeon? We can actually do a Sobble knockout this turn if we somehow scoop it up. We can actually scoop up right now, but we actually decided to do Greening Cells, prepare for the next attacking Dracovish. So passing 2 turns actually give us 2 attackers. They're giving us 2 attackers now. All we need is to Raihan the grass, or even search for, not search, but somehow draw a Aurora Energy from the deck without the Raihan. But we're probably going to attack with Dracovish first. If they don't kill Leafeon with the boss order, we can do our Dracovish, Dragon Strike, Slosh and Crash, collect a few knockouts with that V card, and then once it dies, we can do our Raihan for Leaf Guard, 180 damage, not bad, and VSTAR maybe possibly use that ability. So VSTAR is definitely going to help us. If we can't evolve though, we're only doing like 90 base damage. You have to flip a coin for the attack as well. I don't think Leafeon V, the basic, is doing much. So we only are playing 1 copy of VSTAR, important to note. So if you don't get it inside your deck, if it's stuck in your prize card, make sure you don't invest so much energies in your Leafeon. I think we already checked our deck. I think we have a VSTAR inside the deck probably. That's why we invested so much. Acerola's Intuition, they actually drew 5 cards, look at that. Because we have 5 trainer cards in our hand. That is big, it's a huge draw, isn't it? Drawing 5 cards with Acerola. Okay, let's do Quick Ball. Are we gonna get another Dracovish? Or a Lumineon? I don't think we have a Lumineon. No Lumineon, there we go, it's in the prize. So let's do a Crobat. We can actually do a... Oh, we can kill the Suicune right now. I don't think we need to do Ludicolo though. We're not gonna waste our rare candy. So let's just not waste the rare candy and scoop it up for the retreat. And then do Dragon Strike to collect the knockout. And then bench the Lotad, save the rare candy, do Dark Asset. There we go. We even got a Melony, but we got no water energy in the discard pile. We can't draw with Bird Keeper unless we want to retreat or waste that extra scoop up. Let's just do a retreat. I don't think we need that much energy on Leafeon. If we discard the water, we can actually do a Raihan to replenish the energy quite easily. Raihan the grass and then somehow search for water energy or something. Or even Melony on the next turn on the same Leafeon. We should be getting another Dracovish though. Should be getting that extra copy of attacker. Extra attacker. Because it dies quite easily, right? We already got Raihan and Melony in our hand. Let's hope they don't pull a Marnie. If they play a Marnie on the next turn, it's going to be soul crushing because we have so many good cards inside our hand. Rare Candy Evolution, Raihan Marnie, I mean, are you kidding? Melony, my bad. Okay, I'm not sure why I'm taking so long. We should just do Dragon Strike already. There we go. Dragon Strike for 210, killing off the Suicune. I think I was checking if they have any damage reduction buffs, any HP boost or something like that. You never know, always check, always check the stadium, the special energy, the abilities, tool cards. Check to see if they have any boost. So attacking with Dragon Strike, you have to watch out for tool cards as well. If you're attacking with Slosh and Crash, you don't have to be bothered about the tool card effect. You get to completely ignore the effect of the tool card. But if you're attacking with the 210, the higher damage one, if you're trying to collect a VMAX knockout, a big knockout, do bigger damage with your Dragon Strike, then you actually have to take into consideration the tool card. So here comes Shady Dealings Inteleon, doing a double trainer search, a heavy search, level ball, Snom, they're playing a Glaceon, Suicune Glaceon with Inteleon Frostmoth attack. So the Inteleon League Battle deck revamped, modified with new V cards. Instead of having Inteleon VMAX, they have the Suicune V and Glaceon VMAX. Suicune V actually works well for any water decks, so make sure if you're playing water energy attackers or playing water energy attacking Dracovish, so that's why we have Suicune instead of Crobat for the final list. But as you can see, we have a Crobat in our bench right now. That means this is one of the early lists. We have no Suicune. Not yet. But the Suicune one is definitely stronger, because after editing, after changing, swapping that one copy of Dark Acid for your Blizzard Rondo, you actually get to attack with that card as well. Fleet-footed, you get to draw one card from the top deck every single turn until it gets knocked out, which is not bad. So replacing that one card actually does a lot, because you get an additional attacker, you get to Melony, and you're good to go for Blizzard Rondo every single turn. You can't recycle that card though, we have no Rods, Clara, no way of shuffling it back into the deck. So once it dies, we have no choice but to rely on Dracovish. But it gives us that extra security though, at least that one extra card to attack with if we're stuck with nothing else. And we actually get to draw cards with it as well, which is not bad, not a bad deal. Okay, we're gonna attach the energy, scoop up again. I think we're gonna waste the scoop up net for a Snom knockout. Should we do a VSTAR? Let's do an VSTAR actually. So we are scooping up the Lotad. We're wasting the second scoop up net. That means we have our final two evolutions. We can evolve twice left. We have two more enthusiastic dons. Sorry, my bad. My English is a bit bad. We have access to only 2 times of the ability of Ludicolo to activate its ability. We don't need that many though. We've got 2 prize left. We got a rare candy and another Ludicolo in our hand, so we get to do 200 plus damage on the next turn. Double enthusiastic dance boost. And they gave us a training card for our grass energy. We don't need a Raihan for Leafeon, but we actually need a Raihan for... Oh, we don't need a Raihan for anything. We just need a Melony. If we want to attack with Leafeon, we should get a Melony if they do a Marnie. They're probably going to Marnie us because we got such a big hand, right? If they don't play a Marnie right now, it would be quite a big surprise. There we go, Marnie. You always expect a Marnie when you have such a big hand. After drawing so many prize cards, always expect a Marnie. Okay, we're gonna do Melony on the next turn. Let's just attack with Leafeon. And they just passed it to not attacking. Look at that. That means we got another knockout. Oh, we should be retreating though. They gave us a training card. That means we just need to do retreat Melony and then attack with Leaf Guard. Right? Retrieve the energy, the grass after retreating. So let's see what we have inside the deck. We're just gonna get Lotad. Let's just discard Leafeon. If we are playing Research, we might as well discard Leafeon, right? Oh, we actually played Research. So we are attacking with Dracovish. And then we got no more VSTAR though. No more VSTAR. That means we actually need to play Ludicolo right now. If we do Ludicolo, we can Slosh and Crash for a knockout. I'm not sure what I'm thinking here. We should have done a Leaf Guard though. Like, we got a Melony, we got a free retreat. Not free retreat, but you know, we got 3 energies for the retreat. We got a training card. If we did a Leaf Guard, we would have protected ourselves from a knockout. But if they somehow boss order though, and force us to get stuck in the active position, then we have no grass energy to attack. So that would actually buy them a lot of time, because we don't have that many switch cards in this deck. So I think it's actually better to attack with the same Dracovish. Wait for them to kill us, I suppose. Okay, Glaceon can't actually attack that easily. They need like an energy switch or like a escape rope switch retreat or something like that, because they just put it as the active Pokemon, which was quite a bad quite a bad decision. They should have done Air Balloon on the Frostmoth as usual, and then retreat after doing the ability, Ice Dance. So now they can't dance that easily. We got the Frostmoth, there we go. They got 6 prize cards left, look at that. They actually got 6 prize cards left. So Glaceon is not that powerful, is it? It's actually an evolution face-off. Leafeon versus Glaceon. They're playing a VMAX though. We're playing a VSTAR, we have no VMAX. And only 1 copy of the VSTAR, by the way. They have, I'm not sure how many copies of the VMAX. I think they discarded 1, so 2 copies of VMAX at least. And Suicune Frostmoth with Inteleon. So let's do Leaf Guard right now. We can quite easily pull off another Ludicolo if we get Incense and a rare candy. We got Incense but no rare candy. That was a bit of a shame because we could have done a VMAX knockout if we retreat to the other Dracovish. We even got Choice Belt. So we could have done 340 damage had we gotten a rare candy with the Melony. It was a long shot though because they actually did a Marty on us. So we're going to discard our Grass Energy and then retrieve it with the Training Court to reattach it for Leaf Guard, doing 180 damage, reducing damage by 30 on the next turn. There we go. Oh, we're doing 210 thanks to Choice Belt. Choice Belt is like madness, isn't it? It's the new Choice Band. Against GX, now we have 1 against V cards. Finally, right? I mean, like finally we have a choice belt. Okay, they did Icicle, Max Icicle, not even enough to knock out the bench because we have a Cape of Toughness. Even without the cape, it's still staying alive. So Glaceon is super weak, yo. Super weak. We collected the final prize for a VMAX knockout, which is insane. Okay, let's fight against the Darkness deck right now. We got our Hydreigon coin. It's actually a Dragon type, but it's the one for the Darkness theme deck, so it should be a Dark type, this one, but I actually don't have any other Dragon coins. I don't have any Dragon coins except for the Dragonite Soaring Storms, and I think I featured that on the last deck already. Because the last one we are playing a Druddigon, another Dragon type. If you guys want to check it out, it's in the description below. It's also in my channel. It's the last video just before this one. Druddigon for Revenge, doing 120 extra damage if one of your Pokemon got knocked out on your opponent's last turn, plus 40 base damage, which is not bad. Druddigon does 160 damage, but you need to satisfy the condition obviously, and if you do Choice Belt, you get to do 30 more 190 for a 1 price basic Pokemon. That's madness, right? That's what we want. We want to be searching for those golden 1 price cards that can do 160 for a basic Pokemon. Like 𝘿𝙚𝓼, Evolving Skies 𝘿𝙚 Berserk. I quite like that card because it's a 1 price basic. I keep repeating that, but that's like gold. That's like the gold mine in my opinion. It's like the gold mine. So let's do our greening cells. I don't think there's anything else we can do. Oh, I was thinking of whether we should do escape rope. So here's where we did the big mistake. You'll see later that it's the biggest mistake of my life. I actually wanted to do a 1-hit knockout. I was eyeing for that OHKO with our Ludicolo rare candy, but we couldn't even do it though. We can't draw cards that easily, so we should have kept it at the bench spot and somehow pull a Melody. I think we even discarded a Water Energy. So they did a Max Jet, look at that. They did a Max Jet, almost killing us off. So that was the biggest mistake of my life. Doing the escape rope way too early. And we have no choice but to do Slosh and Crash. Only 210 damage. Not bad, but we're dying on the next turn. And we got nothing in our hand, which is horrible. 𝘿𝙗𝓼 though, at least. So Cramorant, they got 2 double turbo in a row. Look at that. Now they get to flip 5 coins. Doing 40 less damage though. So that was quite bogus, isn't it? We got 2 double turbo in a row. Okay, we're gonna do a Raihan right now. Raihan for... Let's get a Crobat. We should be getting cards out. I don't know what we should get though. We should do Quick Ball for Crobat. If we want to play Crobat, might as well discard something first. No Ultra Ball. I was actually trying to search for the other ball. We're only playing 1 copy of that card though. So, just for the extra energy discards. So we're gonna remove 1 Melony and draw 4 cards with our Crobat. Dark Asset. And we're gonna bench a Ludicolo. Waiting Cells. Let's hope we got another Grass Energy inside the deck. If we get to Cells right now, no Cells. That's horrible. Okay, this is bad. So I think we discarded a Aurora Energy and a Grass. That means... Oh, Aurora Energy, my bad. So no Grass inside. No Water Energy in the discard pile. No Grass Energy inside the deck. This is so bad. They actually flipped 5 tails. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? They got 5 tails. I mean, what are the odds of that? Okay, let's do Bird Keeper. Let's just draw something. We're stuck basically. We're stuck with nothing, so we have to somehow get a Dracovish and attach the energy. If they do a boss though, I will be quite mad. They got 4 cards in their hand. Are they gonna get a boss on the next turn? Do they have one already? Okay. We have no choice but to wait on the bench because we have not enough energies to do much. So let's just pass a turn. If they knock us out, they're helping us because we have a Raihan. We don't have we should be retreating though. Because we don't have a basic energy in the discard pile. That means we cannot reattach the Grass Energy. So we had to do a retreat if they knock us out. They did a knockout, that's great. So we're gonna retreat with Leafeon to do a Raihan. And that actually gives us a knockout, but we need to search for a Water Energy. We need to search for another energy card. Which is horrible because we're stuck with no hand again. But we got a Lumineon though. We got to Luminous Sign on the next turn for another support card. So we can actually do... Oh, we don't need the Water Energy though. Because we can do Slosh and Crash, right? Oh, they got no more tool cards. We already discarded it. If we do Ludicolo... Oh, they got another one. They just attached another tool card. That was quite silly, isn't it? They attached another tool card. So we don't need the Water Energy. That was quite silly. But it actually helps us prepare for the next one though. So let's do Slosh and Crash first. And then kill off the Togekiss with Dragon Strike. That actually gives us another turn of doing Dragon Strike. Because if we do the strike this turn, we can't attack on the next. We can attack, but we can't do more than 60 damage. Unless they play 2 cards. Okay, if they evolve into the VMAX, we got our rare candy ready to go. Probably gonna play a Marnie though, because we got so many cards in our hand right now. Drag Off. Drag Off actually works for double turbo. You can do double turbo for the effect, where you're doing 20 less damage to your opponent's new active. It's the same as your Malamar V. Drag Off, same name as well, the attack. White Wind, 20 damage. They did not evolve, they did nothing. So we get a free knockout, Dragon Strike, 2 more prize. All we need is a final knockout. They got 3 prize left as well. So it's anyone's game at this point. But they don't have much though. They don't have a V card on the bench. They could play a Sableye, a surprise Sableye on the next turn. They're playing Darkness Energy with double turbo. So you never know if they're gonna play a Raihan Sableye on the next turn. If they do that, I don't think they can collect the knockout that easily. Sableye needs at least 4 damage counters, I think. 3 damage counters. So if they play Sableye Zigzagoon, they can do it. It's exactly enough, right? 190 damage plus 3 damage counters. Yep, 220 damage just right unless we have a Cape of Toughness. So that's all for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Have a great day and bye for now, lovely people. Enjoy your life.